Everybody, welcome to Mindfulness Monday. See a lot of new faces, which is great. I know Carissa likes to be able to see her audience. So
Wow,
everybody
big
wave to
group.
Carissa.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Hello, everyone.
And lots of new timers, first timers in here. So you may be wondering why today Chris is subbing for Vivian because Vivian had a prior commitment. So we are lucky enough though to have Carissa. She did all of our mindfulness last fall and last spring, so she knows the drill. So one thing I will ask is that you turn your phones on silent, please. Um, Vivian is a certified, Vivian, excuse me, sorry, Carissa is a certified mindfulness facilitator. She'll lead you through the exercise. And go ahead, Carissa. Thank you very much for joining us again.
Great. Thank you. Good to see you, Jason. And good to see everyone in the planetarium here on Zoom. Maybe someone's watching this later on YouTube. So I like to begin with a definition of mindfulness. It's a practice of paying attention to your present moment experience with an attitude of curiosity, openness, and a willingness to simply be with things just as they are. And what I'll be doing over the next little while is I will talk a little bit, offer some instruction, suggestions for preparing. We'll do a little bit of a settling and arriving exercise. I'll be talking through this, and then I'll talk a little less, and then we'll be in silence for a while, and then I will speak up again, and we will come back out of silence and close out the practice for today. Um, just know that any of my instructions are suggestions. If you find that something is not working for you, feel free to just let it go. Know that you are always in control of this meditation practice at any point in time. You do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So, for those of you in the planetarium, I know your chairs are leaned back comfortably. Um, And if you're at home, perhaps in an office chair or on a cushion or some other seat, um, I usually recommend uh, sitting in an upright position. Lying down is one of the most challenging meditation positions. But if you're sitting, just try to have as uh, lengthened spine. Have your head over your shoulders over your hips. And we're aiming for a relaxed yet alert position. So we're not doing anything that's rigid or stiff. Um, However, you're sitting or lying, this is a practice of, again, relaxed alertness. So if you need to move to adjust a little bit, that is totally okay. And you just want to aim to have as much as possible the greatest access to your full range of your breath. You can leave your eyes open or closed, whichever is most comfortable for you. You may be looking up at the stars and enjoying that. You may want to close your eyes and reduce the distraction in the visual field. If you don't close your eyes, I would recommend a soft downward gaze. And again, if you have any phones or devices that make noise, silence those, set them aside. And just take a couple of long, slow, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just checking in. What is the breath in the body today, right now? For many of us, we never even notice the breath. Um, you may suddenly realize when you're taking a long, slow, deep breath that for most of the day so far, perhaps you've been breathing just up in your chest. And sometimes when you take these deep breaths, you might have a yawn or a sigh. This is signaling to the body that we're shifting gears a little bit, slowing down. And once you've done that, just allow the breath to return to its natural pace and rhythm. There are some meditations where you are directing the breath in a particular way, but we won't be doing that today. So just let the in breath be an in breath. The out breath is an out breath. You could begin to notice the room that you're in, orienting yourself to where you are in space. What is the quality of the light? Maybe it's dark where you are, maybe it's sunny. Noticing the temperature of the room that you're in, whether the air is still or moving. If there's any smells or sounds, either inside or outside of the room. Just taking a moment to see what the space around you is like. And then turning the attention inwards. Got a little bit of that from noticing the breath as we were doing our deep inhale, exhale. You could notice, do a little scan through the body. Are there places where you tend to hold any tension or tightness? Sometimes it's in the face or the jaw. Many times I will suggest removing your glasses if you wear them, just to allow all the little tiny muscles of the face the opportunity to completely relax. Maybe you tend to have your shoulders up high. You could give a little shrug back and down, scanning through the back of the body, the low back and hips, down through the legs, knees, feet, and toes. And if there's any of these places where there's discomfort or tightness, you could just invite it to soften. And maybe it will, and maybe it won't, but the invitation is always there. You could also just check in on the state of your mind and heart. Is it a busy mind? Maybe you're thinking of things that happened before you arrived here, planning what might be coming next. There may be agitation, there may be quiet. All of it is welcome. All of that is allowed. I like to say that it is an act of compassion to simply acknowledge the truth of your own lived experience. So, returning to the breath, I invite you to choose one spot where you can most easily access the sensations of breathing. For most people, that's the nose, the chest, or the belly. And you can experiment with focusing on different places in the body, but I recommend right now just choose one and concentrate your attention on that space, on that part of the body, the nose, the sensations of the breath coming in through the nostrils, the warmth of the exhale over the upper lip. In the chest, you might sense the expansion or contraction of the rib cage, the sensation of clothing against the body. Or in the belly with the rise and the fall. And again, these are just the natural breath as it comes and goes. Locating the breath and the sensation of breathing wherever it is most evident in the body. We offer the breath as an anchor for the mind, like we would use an anchor to keep a boat from drifting away. This invitation to pay attention to specific aspects of the breath gives the mind something to tether itself to here in the present moment, experiencing just one breath at a time. Being curious about how the breath is now, which may be different from how it was before and how it will be later. Each one is completely unique. And if you would like to further concentrate the mind on the breath, you can try to locate the point at which the exhale becomes an inhale and vice versa. There's usually a very natural pause at the end of an exhale. You can notice how long that is. And when exactly does the inhale begin? And the exhale, which is often a little shorter of a pause, but still something there. You can just notice, when exactly does it become an exhale? I think about this balance, especially as we just headed into fall, the vernal equinox. or the autumnal equinox just happened here in the northern hemisphere. So we're at this point where light and dark are now almost equal. The nights will start getting longer, but for the next little while, they're very close to being the same. So we can notice with the breath that balance of the inhale and exhale, and the shift between one and the other, and back again. If at some point you notice that your mind has wandered away from the breath, drifted into remembering the past, rehearsing for the future, that is totally normal. Happens so frequently. And when it does, with as much friendliness as you can bring to it, that willingness to simply be with the fact that the mind wanders, you can return your concentration to focusing on the point of inhale, shifting to exhale, and the opposite, or to the sensations of breathing in the spot that you've picked. But like you would invite a friend to just sit down next to you, offer a chair. You just offer this again to the mind to pay attention to, returning over and over whenever it happens, with kindness and friendliness, knowing that that is the natural way of the mind. If in your effort to concentrate, you've unconsciously begun to tense up, that's a good time to check in on those places and invite relaxation and softness to return. Simply being with each breath as it arrives and passes. And after your next exhale, I invite you to shift your focus of attention a little out from the breath, checking back into the body, noticing whether or not those places of tension and tightness are still there. Maybe so, maybe not. Seeing uh, the quality of the heart and mind. Is that any different than when you first walked into the room? And the room itself, beginning to widen our attention to include the room that we're in. Maybe the light is different now. The quality of the air, the sounds, even the other bodies that are here in the same space with us. Just becoming aware of those gently and wiggling fingers and toes. And closing out this practice with some appreciation for ourselves. It really is a gift to arrange your schedule, to have this kind of a pause in the middle of the day. And I hope that it brought you some ease and relaxation, some calm, maybe a nap, something nourishing that will support you through the rest of the day and the week, and in turn, perhaps allow you to share some of that goodness with everyone you meet. So thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. A good rest of your day.
Thank you very, very much, Carissa. Really appreciate that. I'm going to pause the recording.